night sky. Turns a soft purple. You know, you guys are on the road for several more hours. You've been driving pretty much through the night. You've actually been able to get quite a bit of rest. Everybody, once in a while when the car hits a bump or something, everybody kind of, you grab your guns and whatnot, but you guys kind of fall back asleep. So as everybody starts to wake back up. It seems like the sun is starting to ride. You guys are riding on all of these twisting roads and turns and beautiful trees on each side. Windows down, you can hear birds and crickets chirping, and just the tires running on the open road. And then over time, the lull of the tires burning on the road, and they eventually put you back and forth into sleeping and waking you up. And so, as just as the sun is starting to crest, as you guys are starting to go in a westerly direction, the east behind you, that the sun is starting to rise. All of a sudden, to the west, light fills the roadway, where it looks like there's a huge spotlight. Just like a huge spotlight. And it's a little bit lighter outside. And
is it like a bright white light?
Yeah, it is. It's like a big train light or something. It's like you're in a train tunnel or something.
What type of road are we on?
You're on just like a back country road.
Okay, just 2 lanes.
Yeah, 2 lanes, no median in the middle, and your eyes are starting to adjust, and before your brain can even register, all of the drivers of the cars are what in the is going on? And then all of a sudden, as you're as it is a little lighter outside, you can see that this helicopter is looks like it's coming towards you off, probably about, I don't know, a couple hundred feet. And now by this time, everybody's starting to slow down. And then all of a sudden, this bright light, kind of goes out, and you can see that this helicopter slams into the road. Crash, sliding towards you guys. The cars basically are now scattering. 2 cars go off to the left, 2 cars go off to the right. So who's driving your car, Sam?
It's probably going to be me.
Okay, I want you to give me a driving check.
Yeah, let's let Steve.
Steve, I believe that you have a driving skill now, don't you?
I don't see it.
Let's see. On your skills, you do not have driving. So why don't you give me an unskilled check? Okay, you rolled a 3. Now, as you veer this, as you veer this, car off the road, the eyes adjust, the Apache is a big old Apache helicopter, slams into the ground. The road, bits of road are going up everywhere. The helicopter blades are basically just chopping it up, bending around. The body's like twisting and snapping, and basically fills both lane, and the wreckage is barreling towards you guys. And you make your check, and I'm not giving you the total negative, of the -2, so I only gave you -1. So you're able to keep the car under control as you do slide off the roadway, missing a tree, and you kind of bury the car I'd say about 15 feet into the woods. Now, you see another car barrel to the left, and you see 2 cars barrel to the right. So you guys are now, basically there you were. You're slowly going down the road, guys. Finally able to relax a little bit. This light comes towards you. You guys can see that this is holy shit. This is a helicopter. The helicopter slams into the road ahead of you. You know, an Apache helicopter nonetheless. Throwing rock, rubble. Cars go left. Cars go right. So now you guys are in the woods. And this is you know, basically what it looks like. Now, as you guys are kind of shake it off. You don't hit anything. You know, Steve does a great job on maneuvering the car to a stop. So this is, what are the odds?
What are the odds that we're driving there and a helicopter crashes right in front of us?
I know. I mean, this is just
Out in the hole.
I'm telling you. So you guys, are you guys getting out of the car or whatnot?
No,
or?
yeah, I'm not
I did-
getting that image. But
I didn't get a pop-up
No.
either, yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't shared it yet, so I do have an
Okay.
image for you
Okay.
guys. So
okay, you said this is what it looks like.
Yeah,
What I'm looking for.
yeah,
I didn't see it.
yeah, I haven't showed it yet because I was waiting to see if you guys were kind of, you know, did you guys shake the cobwebs clean? You know, this is basically what you see.
Mm.
You know, you guys were wearing your seatbelts and whatnot, so you guys, you know, get out of the vehicles. You know, you guys are fine. You know, there's smoke. You can hear, you know, you can hear the, you know, all of a sudden a large burst, and you can actually feel the heat, you know, come from the wreck into the, you know, sort of like a shock wave of heat, and you know, you can hear some screams and whatnot. So you guys, you know, struggle. You guys pull yourself to your feet. You don't know if anybody's
Grabbing up.
alive.
The bags.
Yeah, guys are grabbing your bags. The car is not destroyed. The car was running still. So you turned it off. You tested it again. It started right up. So, you know, you
We
can.
pulled safely off the road then. Okay.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. You pulled safely off the road.
Okay.
Even though you pulled off into the brush, you didn't destroy the car.
Did all 4 cars make it?
Well, as you guys get up to the road, you know, you guys are kind of, you know, see twisted pieces of metal everywhere, and you guys are scanning the area. You know, you see one of the pilots, his uniform's all torn, and his skin is ripped from his body, and he's kind of like pulling himself, you know, from the vehicle with only his arms. I mean, that's a pretty crazy scene. And you notice this guy, he's moaning. He's one of these living dead. You know, and it's, you know, his legs are basically just broken, leaving a trail of blood behind him.
Is this the pilot, you say?
It looks like one of the pilots, yeah. Mm-hmm.
And he's a zombie.
He is a zombie, yeah.
Mm.
You know, and it's just twisted metal. And you notice that 2 of the other vehicles, the corporal's vehicle, has ran head on into a large tree. You can see one, as you're kind of surveying the area, you can see that there is one of his men basically sticking out of the front of the windshield. You know, and he's looks to be in pretty bad shape. You know, the other car was pretty much hit by the copter. So, you know, those
Those soldiers.
you've lost 2 soldiers. The colonel's kind of slumped over the wheel, and the other soldier in his car is out of the windshield, out of the front of the windshield.
Can I get to these vehicles?
Sure, yeah, you can. There's a
First
lot
thing I
of.
want to do is go up to the colonel and check his vitals.
He definitely has a pulse. It's not very heavy, but he does still have a pulse. He's been cut up pretty badly, even though he did have his seatbelt on. He still took quite a bit of trauma damage from, you know, the roof kind of caving in on him and stuff. So.
Right. The passengers.
The passenger that's in the window, he appears to be dead. you check for his pulse. Uh, he just appears to be dead. Do you have a medicine skill?
I do not.
How about I do? I have knowledge, medicine, and healing.
Okay.
But as soon as I notice he doesn't have a pulse, and if I do notice that,
Mm-hmm.
I'm pulling my knife and doing the same thing I did to Betty.
Okay, basically run your knife up through the bottom of his chin up into his brain.
Yep.
Okay, so Rose, are you going over to try to assess the situation too?
Oh, of course.
Okay.
Yeah,
Give me
just checking out everybody.
Yeah, give me a medicine check on the soldier that's kind of hanging out of the window.
Do you want medicine or healing?
Just give me a medicine check.
So knowledge, medicine. Okay.
Knowledge medicine. Yep. Yeah, very very nice. You were fine. Now you notice as you're looking him over, you notice that as he went through the windshield, basically the windshield just severed his neck. So you can see that there's just a massive, this is where blood is just kind of running out. All of his major arteries have been severed. And it's basically where his head is kind of resting is on the glass. It's kind of, he's pushed out, you know what I mean? So it's really, really damaged him. And then you see Sam, take his knife and bury it through the, the bottom of him up through his, so it's kind of shocking to see this little kid do that. You're like, whoa, what in the hell?
No, don't forget I also raised 2 hunters of my own, so not really that shocking.
No, it's definitely shocking. So, there's still, Sam, says that there's a pulse on the corporal. You check also. I'm not going to make you do a check for that, but you can definitely see that there's a pulse, a really light pulse. And you guys can, the car has got some flames coming up, starting to arise from the hood area. You can smell gas. So you get the colonel pulled away, using your skill, your skills in medicine. You get him on the road. You get him back. Now, this pilot is sort of like moaning and dragging his, whoops. Kind of dragging his torn legs, his broken legs.
Dave,
Steve?
I want to look around for the other car that had the quarantine people in it.
Yeah, it gets thrown off of the road on the right-hand side, and you can see that Gregory, Joe, and the kids they emerge out of the. It seems like they've also, missed disaster, as kind of ran their cars. He says, "Oh my." Joe says, "Damn brakes went out on this thing, and car's probably about 30, 40 feet up into the woods." And
Is the car still drivable?
Yeah, he says, "Yeah, it should be drivable. I just got to try to get it out of there. It's kind of caught on a couple logs, but we should be able to get it out."
All right. I want to go over our car again and make sure it's sound enough to drive.
All right. So yeah, and the crushed car that was actually hit by the copter with all the twisted metal, you could see that one of the blades had come through the windshield and decapitated one of the soldiers. And the other soldier appears to be alive still also. He just basically appears to be knocked out. Got a few cuts and bruises on him. But the other soldier that was driving, dead for sure. The fire, what from the colonel's car? Yeah, it does ignite a little bit more, and the car does erupt in flame.
Sorry, I was handling something there. Did we get Colonel out?
You did get the colonel out. Yeah, you got him.
Okay.
You got him onto the road to the south.
Miss Rose, how are the soldiers doing? Found one that had died. I fixed him.
Well, looks like we have one over here that's okay.
Okay. It looks like there's another guy knocked out in the copter.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with this one over here, and she points to the one that's basically crawling the blood trail.
Yeah, he's slowly trying to crawl towards where the colonel is there, and the other soldier. He's just, he's just like in the picture. He's got his helicopter helmet on, and you can see that there's several other dead, pilot and a couple of the other passengers that were flying in this thing. Well, the pilot, just with all the fire and the shame, the explosion, you can see that he's clearly dead. But you have this other, this other shambler. This other pilot. He's slowly dragging himself, trying to get to the fresh flesh of the colonel and the other soldier. So just as just as you guys notice this, all of a sudden you hear car. You can hear an ANC from a dirt road that you had just passed. As the dirt road comes onto the concrete road, you can see that there are 4 pickup trucks, and you can see each one has just as this shambler is fixing to bite into the colonel's neck, all of a sudden this thing's head just explodes with the helmet and everything on it. And all of a sudden you can see that the headlights of 4 vehicles, 4 pickup trucks, 2 men, as they turn their big fog lights off the back. They're yelling, "Is everybody all right?" You can see that there's 2 men with rifles on the bed of each one of these trucks. Another one driving. So they arrive on the scene.
I tell him there's one more in the helicopter.
Is he alive?
It looks like he's either knocked out or maybe dead.
Yeah, he's.
And if he's dead, you know what comes next.
Yeah. So a couple of the guys they fire into the helicopter, through the glass. The glass is already broken anyway. So, they basically tell him that they've put him out of his misery anyway if he was still living, because it was on fire. He was on fire.
Plus, if he was in there with the zombie pilot, he probably was already bitten anyway.
Yeah, that's probably why it crashed anyway. So, one of the guys gets out of the truck. He introduces himself as John Myers, and that he and his companions here are from a small fortified town called Dalesbury. And he says, "We have a small fortified town about 6 miles away. We were doing our morning rounds, and all of a sudden we heard the helicopter. I mean, we haven't seen or heard anything like that, so, we were following this thing as we were doing our rounds in the area, because this copter was kind of, going in circles and at times spinning in the air, and we knew that the copter was in trouble, so we started following it, and we wanted to check it out, and then all of a sudden it went down, and we saw this explosion, and were you guys on the helicopter?"
No, we were driving along the road. It crashed in front of us. So I'm guessing you don't know where the helicopter came from.
We have no clue where it came from. We haven't seen anything like that in at least a week. We figured they were all going to Jacksonville.
I bet wherever that helicopter came from is not doing well.
Probably not. We know that Jacksonville was supposed to be a refuge, but We knew that, seeing that it was advertised on all the local radio stations, we knew that there would be so many people there, and that's why we didn't go. We basically we have our small town, we fortified it, and we've done pretty well so far.
And that was a smart thing to do. We came from Jacksonville. It is gone.
Jacksonville is gone, even with the military presence and the government presence.
The military that you see here with us is all that's left.
Oh my God, those guys they look to be in pretty bad shape. Why don't we get them loaded up on the truck? You guys can jump into the trucks with us. We'll take you back to Dalesbury. We'll get some medical attention on these guys. And one of the guys says, yeah, this guy's fading pretty quick. And, are you guys okay with that? You guys are more than welcome to come with us. And Joe says, yeah, we have a sick girl also that has a really bad flu. And he says, yeah, you guys can... I don't think you guys are going to be... Where are your cards? You guys are in these cards? And then he kind of looks over at the one and sees a decapitated soldier, and he goes, oh my God, that guy. Whew. He says, why don't you guys...
We do have another vehicle off the side of the road here. We could bring it.
Oh, you do? Oh, yeah. Get it, grab it, and follow us back. We'll take you to Dalesbury. We're only about 6 miles from here. So we'll get you back there. We'll get these two soldiers taken care of, and we'll go from there. If you guys are okay with that.
And what of the little girl and those guys? That car, they were okay, right?
What about it? They're welcome to Dalesbury as long as nobody's bitten or infected. You're more than welcome to come.
We do have someone who has possibly the flu. We don't know what it is, but they are certainly not bitten.
Has she? So she has no bite marks on her?
We've been checked by several people. There are no bite marks.
Well,
but she is
okay.
She is normal sick.
Go ahead and grab her. Tell those guys to come on. Tell them little children to come on. Let's go. Let's get to Dalesbury. We'll get everybody. We'll get everybody taken care of.
All right, so I guess I'm grabbing up stuff, getting it back into our car, and I guess Steve will be able to navigate it back onto the road easily enough.
All right, sounds good. So you guys get everything. You get it takes a couple times. They got to get one of the winches from one of the trucks to help get the other car out. But both cars are ready to go. The fire kind of spreads a little bit because of all of the woods and the fire, and you guys make this trip back to Dalesbury. It is you're watching the speedometer. It is exactly what he says. It's just about 6 miles away. You pull into Dalesbury, and you guys are driving on this dirt road, cuts through the woods, very remote. You see this small town.
And it's morning time, right?
It is
right?
morning time, yes it is. The sun is now starting to rise. It's been about probably 30 minutes since the helicopter crash. And there's a big sign, big hand-painted sign. Welcome to Dalesbury. Population 783. But the 783 has a painted X through it, and below it says 241. So they've lost quite a few people.
That's pretty good survival rate.
Yeah. And as you guys
considering most places are completely devastated.
Yeah, take for Jacksonville, Fairport, the ship, exactly. So yeah, what did say it's 783 at one point, says 241 now. And as you guys, the sun is up, you guys can see they've basically formed a makeshift fence around the entire time with dozens and dozens and dozens and dozens of vehicles, all arranged bumper to bumper. Some of them are larger farm vehicles. Spaced periodically atop these vehicles are men with rifles. And you come up, as you're driving up, there is a couple large trucks that are basically the frame for a very large metal and wooden frame door, which is basically being winched with a large chain, and it opens it up, and the two trucks, your two cars, pass through the gate. It shuts behind you, and I want to give you a map of what this Dalesbury is. They basically, as they pull in, they basically go around the entire town and back towards the entrance because everything is so tight and confined. There's really no areas to turn around. So this is what Dalesbury looks like as you guys are kind of given the visual tour as you get back up. And it seems like the town does have a main street. And there's quite a few, probably a dozen cross streets or so. And you can see people that are watching you. You saw as you guys are driving through, you can see there's an old movie theater. You see a couple bars, a clothing store, a livestock feed store. You can see a barber shop. You saw the barber pole outside. You see that there's a small police station, and you can see that there was a doctor's office, and one of the trucks stops at the doctor's office, and you can see that they honk the horn. A couple people come out, take the two soldiers, the corporal and a soldier, into the doctor's office. So as you guys get back around town, this short guy steps out, gray hair, glasses, wire rimmed glasses. He's wearing jeans, boots, a t-shirt. The other guys are starting to get out of the truck, and refers to the guy's Doc, and informing them that they have these survivors here and a couple that are gravely injured. So the doctor seems to be pretty anxious, and he says thank you, John, and then he goes, they were in a car accident, they haven't been bitten, no need to check for bites, they got a sick girl now that I think about it also. And then the guy introduces himself to you guys as Dr. Lewis, and his brother John is the mayor of Dalesbury, and he should be around shortly. Usually if we have any kind of survivors that we take in, usually John likes to meet everybody. And then the doctor says, hey, you guys finish getting these wounded inside, and you guys are taken to a small, sort of like a small waiting room. He takes the wounded, puts them into separate rooms, and he asks if anybody else needs to be checked out as you guys are basically all taken back to the doctor's office. And John and his men are pretty much staying with you guys, since they don't know if you guys can be trusted or not. It's not like you guys have guns drawn on you before, but the doctor just says, are you sure there's nobody that's been infected? And then the doctor kind of steps into his office for just like a minute, comes back out with his white medical coat, his coat on, a handful of instruments and stuff that are sticking out of his pockets. And he's as the men are kind of watching you can see he's over the course of the next hour and a half, he's taking care of the two wounded guys, mainly the colonel. He says that he's got some head injuries. He fully examines Samantha, and he comes back out and he says, most definitely she does have the flu. We checked, she has not been bitten. So thank you very much for being honest with us. In the past, we've had several people that have tried to come in here, and they were infected, unfortunately, and we had to turn them loose. And
set them free.
Yeah, had to turn them loose. So, do you guys have anything you want to ask the doctor? He tells you that the one soldier basically just was knocked for a loop, and he'll be fine. But I'm going to need to have a little bit more care on this other guy. He took some pretty bad blunt trauma to the head. I want to keep an eye on him. He is around. He has come to, and but he should recover fully.
Hi, Dr. Lewis. I am Sam.
Hello there, little fella.